So as soon as I learned that these AirPods were made by ZMI, which is a company related to Xiaomi, and Xiaomi has a really good reputation, they really make good value products, I knew that these AirPods were going to be really good. The first thing I want to talk about is the comfort and fit, and I have to say these feel very comfortable to wear, especially for long durations when you're doing exercise. I think that the comfort and fit of these rival actually with the AirPods Pro. So I've tried many in-ear Bluetooth wireless headphones, and a lot of them were very uncomfortable, especially the TicPods and the Tronsmart. When I was exercising with them, they would always fall out, and it was so annoying. Even just sitting down, for some reason, they just did not fit. Thankfully, the ZMI includes 3 different types of silicone tips, so it's going to fit any types of ears. Now, I know that comfort and fit is a very subjective thing, but these fit really well in my ears, and moving my head around, just walking around the day, doing exercise, maybe doing errands, it never fell out. So in the end, I have to say I was very impressed with the ergonomics and the overall fit of these earphones. The next very important subject when it comes to evaluating headphones is their operation and usability. And for Android users, this is going to be a big win. I have to say the touch controls on the ZMI PurPods Pro are absolutely amazing. So the controls of the ZMI PurPods Pro behave exactly like the AirPods Pro. They're basically pressure sensitive buttons. They're not capacitive buttons, so it makes it very easy to control. You're not going to mess it up. I've had so many accidental clicks with other types of controls where you have to slide or you have to kind of like touch them in a specific way. These work fantastically out of the box and did just work just as well as the AirPods Pro. Now the place where Android users really profit is the ability to control the double tap function. You can have separate controls on the left and right ear. Now one of the biggest pet peeves of all types of Bluetooth headphones out there is that you're not able to change the volume. And this is one of the most important critical features that I look for every time I'm looking for a Bluetooth headset. And of course, people who try to use the AirPods Pro on Android devices, they don't get this functionality. They have to engage with Siri, and that's obviously an iPhone specific feature. I'm so happy that ZMI implemented custom functions for people who want to control, because when these come out of the box, the double tap does something different. But I've programmed these to control the volume. So my left ear, double tap, decrease the volume, and my right ear, double tap, increase the volume. So you can only control the double tap, but that is amazing. We'll go into more details about the different types of customization you can bring to these headphones when we talk more about the app later in this video. So in the end, the touch controls are absolutely amazing. They're very accurate, you never mess them up. I'm just very pleased the way you interact with this device. It's just such an important critical thing that you'd be surprised how many times you play and pause or press this button once or change the volume throughout the day when you're using these headphones. This is what it's built for. It's built for everyday use, and it's very practical, and it saves you a lot of time and frustration. The next big feature that I look for in a headset is in-ear detection, and I believe that ZMI did an amazing implementation of this in-ear detection, because I've tried so many different Bluetooth headsets where if you take one of them off, it would pause the music or hang up a phone call. In this case, you have to take both of the headphones off to engage the pause and play, or to reject a phone call or answer a phone call. I can't stress how important this behavior of in-ear detection is, because it avoids all the frustration. Sometimes you just don't want to listen with both ears. Maybe you want to take one of these out. It's nice to not have it automatically pause the music, or it's nice to not have it hang up on a phone call. So being able to just keep one of these in and then freely take it in and take it out, and just have it work perfectly out of the box. There's no syncing issues. There's not like this issue where sometimes there's a delay between the earphones, or sometimes it's just playing on one earphone or it's not. It can be really messy. They just did a great job with the in-ear detection. And best of all, you can go into the app and disable this feature in case you don't want this in-ear detection type of thing, where sometimes it can be really annoying. So the next thing I want to talk about is the in-app experience. Now ZMI, it's called ZMI here. You can get it on Google Play Store or on the Apple Store, and it's just a really good app. There's no fuss. You don't have to sign in. You don't have to do all this setup and all that stuff. Once you pair the Bluetooth headphones to your device, which is also a very simple step, which I'll go into more detail later, you can basically go into the app right away and start disabling features, enabling features. There in the app, you can tweak various settings like active noise cancellation, adaptive sound. You can also customize the double squeeze feature on each headphone to a specific liking. So for example, on your right ear, you can double tap it to enable gaming mode, which allows you for low latency enjoyment of your game. Overall, I have to say that the app is designed beautifully. It's very intuitive and very simple. It simply displays all the options you have on one page without having to go into many menus and doing all these advanced settings. So I really appreciate that ZMI gave a really good user app experience. So let's talk about the sound quality of the ZMI PurPods Pro. I have to say right off the bat, the sound quality is absolutely amazing. The bass is very distinct. The highs are also very clear. The vocals, when you're watching a movie, maybe you're watching an action movie, you can really hear the rumble. And you can go into the app and enable a more enhanced bass so you can hear more of that bass. But honestly, I keep it on balance, and I think that sounds really good for overall just movie watching and listening to lots of music. When I was listening to the Tenet soundtrack, which is known to have a lot of bass, when I enabled the bass mode, I was absolutely blown away how well the bass sounded. It wasn't muddy at all. It just sounded very clear. I think part of the reason why the sound quality of these headphones are so good is that they use a very peculiar design in their driver. It's a single driver, but the frequencies are divided where the low end and the high ends produce different types of sounds, and they just work together to produce a very clear, crisp sound. So it's very interesting technology. I haven't really looked into it, but it's a dual coaxial type of driver, so maybe that's the reason why it sounds so good. The next thing I want to talk about is the overall Bluetooth pairing process. Now, this is often overlooked, especially in budget models where the pairing process can be very cumbersome. So what I mean by that is how easy it is to pair this to an existing Android device and then pair it to another device without having Bluetooth multipoint. Now, Bluetooth multipoint is something that is usually featured in very expensive, bigger type of headphones like the over-ear ones, and they have the Bluetooth multipoint where you can listen to both devices concurrently. So you can have a Bluetooth connection on two different devices, and you can play on one and then play on the other one, and the headphones will do that. Usually these type of headphones, like these smaller headphones, even the AirPods Pro, they don't offer Bluetooth multipoint, which is totally expected, and this is normal with Bluetooth. But what I expect from any Bluetooth headphone is to be able to easily pair it from one device to another device. So in some of the cheaper models of Bluetooth headphones, you would have to actually go into the device that you're currently paired with and then unpair it, so you kind of unregister it so that you could free it to pair with another device. And if you lost that device, or maybe you're pairing to your friend's phone, for example, it would be such a cumbersome step to kind of reset it. You would basically have to factory reset the headphones for it to pair again with a new device. And it was just it's just like, it was a terrible process, especially if you had multiple devices. Maybe you want to pair it to your watch, you want to pair it to your phone, you want to pair it to your TV. And it was just absolutely terrible. So when I first saw the AirPods Pro, I noticed that it was such an easy process, even for Android users, just to long press the button and then it would engage the pairing process so you could reset it and then pair it to another device. Well, I'm happy to report that ZMI implemented the exact same type of functionality, and there's a button over here. This button you just long press. After long pressing it, it just goes into pairing mode and you can pair it with any other device. It just takes a couple of seconds. It just makes your life so much easier compared to some of the cheaper headphones that are out there. So I'm very happy with the Bluetooth connection and the pairing process. And speaking of the Bluetooth connection, it's using the latest Bluetooth 5.2, which is, I think, one of the first headsets out there to actually use this new technology. I have to say, the Bluetooth range, the reliability, just how strong it stays in busy environments, or in my house where it's like I'm going all over the house and just cleaning and stuff like that, closing doors, it is rock solid. The Bluetooth connection is one of the best I've ever experienced, and this is so important because I want to be, walking around the house, cleaning, doing stuff, and I don't want to have to carry my phone with me all the time. This is the whole point of Bluetooth. So the Bluetooth connection is rock solid and easy to pair. So let's talk about active noise cancellation, or ANC for short. Now, these are typically featured on very expensive models like the AirPods Pro, and I'm glad that ZMI included this. Now, there's one little caveat to this. If I were to be honest, it isn't as strong as the AirPods Pro in terms of the noise cancellation. I think AirPods Pro is, you're paying so much money for that. You're going to get world-class leading noise cancellation for a little tiny headset like this. Now, that isn't to say that these active noise cancellation headphones don't do their job. I think they do a good job at blocking out the low frequencies. But I think what's amazing about this is that given that these fit so well, and you have so many custom silicone tips, which are very high quality, by the way, you can easily find the perfect pair so that you have perfect passive noise cancellation. And what I mean by passive noise cancellation instead of active is that it's going to do a really good job at blocking out the environment and blocking out the higher frequencies, which active noise cancellation doesn't do a good job at all. When I tested this, I was playing some really heavy bass music and I was just listening to it afar, and I noticed that when I disabled it, which is just long pressing it for 3 seconds on the side tip, it did really do a good job at reducing the frequencies. So I think on an airplane, this would be very helpful. Obviously, I can't fly right now, but being able to block out your neighbor's bass, for example, or just kind of like a low kind of humming like a fan, these do a really good job of that. So when it comes to call quality, let's say you're Zoom conferencing or you're talking to someone over the phone, I have to say the sound quality was absolutely excellent. The person on the other side was able to hear me perfectly, especially in a loud environment, and I was able to hear them totally fine. So call quality, this is no big surprise. It's going to work totally fine, and it's going to be great for just wearing your headphones all day talking to people.
This is an audio test speaking with the Bluetooth headphones of the ZMI PurPods Pro. Testing. Mic check 1, 2, 3. This is a test.
Now, these headphones have so many features, so much value to offer, especially for Android users who were neglected when the AirPods Pro were dominating the Bluetooth industry. Now, I'm very happy to say that this uses USB-C, so thank God we don't have any lightning cables, which was super annoying on the AirPods Pro as an Android user. And it's just nice to not have micro USB. So, of course, this has wireless charging. These wouldn't be Pro without wireless charging. So I was able to place this on my Samsung S20 and simply charge my device. Now, this does have a quick charge mechanism, so you can charge this for 15 minutes, and I think you get like 2 hours of battery life, which is absolutely amazing. So the battery life on this has been perfectly fine. Totally great for all day use, especially when you're video conferencing at work and stuff like that. Just a couple more bonus features. This is water resistant, so if you're going to be exercising, you're going to be sweating a lot, or you're going to jog in the rain, some light rain, this is going to take it no problem. And if you're an Android user and you like to use the Google Assistant, triple tapping on the side buttons will give you access to the Google Assistant, and it works really quick and works very well. So throughout this video, I've been very positive about the ZMI PurPods Pro, and that's because from my honest opinion, from my many weeks of using this, I have to say these sound really good. I'm very happy with the usability, the pairing process, all these little things that really add up to a really good Bluetooth headset. That's not to say that it's perfect. There are a couple things that I really wish that they could improve, and hopefully with firmware updates, they can definitely improve this. So the first thing I don't really like when using these earphones is that every time I toggle between different modes, let's say I go from active noise cancellation to transparency mode so I can hear my surroundings, I notice that it plays a pretty jarring chime. It's kind of like a loud noise, and there's no way to control the volume of this chime. Even if you change the Bluetooth volume, that's only going to affect the Bluetooth volume for your music, your phone calls and whatnot, but it doesn't change the system inbuilt sounds. So I'm really hoping in the future firmware update that ZMI can add the ability to completely disable this type of notification every time you switch between modes. The second thing, and it's kind of related to the first one, is every time I activate the Google Assistant by triple squeezing on one of the AirPods, I notice that it's also very loud. So that's something that I really wish that I could disable. And it seems like it's common amongst all Bluetooth headsets that activate the Google Assistant is that it's just very loud and it's hard to control the system sound. So this concludes my review of the ZMI PurPods Pro. If you have any questions, any comments about this, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'm more than happy to respond to you. If you like this, please do give a like, it really helps the channel. And definitely hit the subscribe button if you want to hear more tech-related gadget reviews. I'm Jay Santax, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.